A Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival has been teased several times over the years, and thanks to ongoing comic books and Buffyverse audio adventures, the demand for a reboot has never waned. The original Buffy the Vampire Slayer ran for 7 seasons from 1997 to 2003. The show spawned one major spin-off, Angel, which ran for 5 seasons of its own. The franchise has remained immensely popular, leading to the announcement of a new TV series in 2018. While this never materialized, the speculation around a revival of Buffy the Vampire Slayer lives on. The rights to Buffy the Vampire Slayer were acquired by Disney in 2019 with their takeover of Fox. Thanks to streaming platform Hulu, the highly bingeable 7 seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer found a new audience too. With the rise of Buffy cast members like Sarah Michelle Gellar and Allison Hannigan, follow-up comics and audiobooks, and widely publicized stalled reboot attempts, it's clear to see that Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a franchise worth revisiting. Whether the Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival will ever see a release date, however, is a decision down to Disney alone. The latest Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival news. Sarah Michelle Gellar warms up to a Buffy revival. A composite image of Spike in Angel with Buffy Summers and Cordelia Chase in Buffy the Vampire Slayer custom image by SR Image Editor. Though no real movement has taken place on the revival's development, the latest news sees Sarah Michelle Gellar weigh in on a new Buffy series. Her performance as Buffy has come to define her career, but Gellar has been cold towards the idea of bringing the character back. However, while promoting her new series, Dexter: Original Sin, Gellar seems to have had a change of course when it comes to her legacy franchise. Mentioning other reboots, Gellar said, "Watching Sex and the City and realizing there are ways to do it definitely does get your mind thinking." While this open-ended response is promising, it doesn't really confirm that a Buffy revival is coming soon. However, Gellar's involvement is perhaps the biggest hurdle that the potential series has had to face, and if she gets on board, the train could really start rolling. Demand for more will never wane, and Gellar might finally be coming around to the idea of reprising her most famous character once again. The Buffy revival is unconfirmed. No official revival yet. A composite image of Sarah Michelle Gellar in front of Buffy the Vampire Slayer villain's custom image by SR Image Editor. A Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot is unconfirmed, though this wasn't always the case. In 2018, it was announced a Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival series was in the early stages of development. Joss Whedon was attached as an executive producer, while Monica Owusu-Breen, Midnight, Texas, would serve as showrunner. The planned 2018 Buffy reboot would have put diversity first and deal with real modern-day issues. However, an update in 2022 revealed the show was on pause, and there's been little heard of the Monica Owusu-Breen Buffy revival since Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival cast. Who could return? The cast of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival would likely feature most or all of the original show's lineup. Much of the demand for the return of Buffy to TV screens, and the show's popularity during its 1997 to 2003 run, is due to the chemistry of the core cast members. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Cruel Intentions, Wolfpack, would be difficult to recast as Buffy. So would David Boren as Bones, SEAL Team, as Vampire and on-again off-again love interest Angel. Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot story. What happens after Season 7? Buffy stands before the new Slayers in the Season 7 intro of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's no known story for the Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival, but there are several directions it can take. The Buffy comics have built out a lot more lore for the overall world of the franchise, which could be drawn from for a new TV series. The comics directly followed the events of Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 7, which saw every potential Slayer in the world granted supernatural abilities at the same time, creating an army of empowered young women to battle the demons and the forces of darkness.